Good morning, students. How are you? I hope that all of you are fine and all of you are enjoying your reading a lot. So, students, now we are reading our chapter number 8 from the book Footprints Without Feet. Beta, this is the last chapter of this book and this chapter is Bholi. Okay, so the chapter Bholi is written by K.A. Abbas. So first of all, let us learn something about the writer of this chapter. The full name of our writer is Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. He was a very famous Indian film director, novelist, screenwriter, and a journalist. Actually, he is all in one. The director as well as novelist, screenwriter, and journalist. Actually, he writes for Urdu, Hindi, and English language. He has equal command for in these language. He was the maker of the film like SW हिंदुस्तानी आई मीन टू से 7 हिंदुस्तानी होगी ये एंड 2 बूंद पानी, यानी कि उन्होंने फिल्म लिखी है कौन सी 7 हिंदुस्तानी और 2 बूंद पानी. इट मीन्स ही इज सच ए फेमस राइटर दैट ही इज एन एक्नॉलेज्ड पर्सन फॉर द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री ऑल्सो. And these two famous films helped him to won the National Film Award for the Best Feature Films. So in this way he also wrote some more films, like for Raj Kapoor's films he wrote the script of film Avara, Shri 420, Mera Naam Joker and Bobby. These are also equally popular film. So now the description of his life is given that he was born in the family of a famous Urdu poet who was a student of Mirza Ghalib. इसका मतलब मिर्ज़ा गालिब के स्टूडेंट थे उसके जो फादर थे, and his grandfather was one of the chief rebel in 1857. यानी कि हमारे जो फर्स्ट वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस था उसमें भी उनके परिवार का इक्वली पार्टिसिपेशन था. ही बिलोंग्स टू हरियाणा. He was born in Panipat on 7 June 1914 and he was died on 1st June 1987 at the age of 72 in Bombay. So you have to keep in mind that Khwaja Ahmad was born in Panipat but he was died in Bombay. So equal states you have to keep in mind. Now let's learn something about the story. So the story Bholi, which is also known as Bholi, is known as Sulekha. ओके, रियाज मतलब नोन एज सुलेखा. भोली जिसका एक्चुअल नेम रियल नेम क्या था भाई, सुलेखा था. शी टेक्स द रीडर्स द स्टोरी टेक्स द रीडर थ्रू द कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सोशल स्ट्रक्चर. एक ऐसे सोशल स्ट्रक्चर की ओर हमें लेके जाती है कहानी जहाँ पे इंडियन फैमिलीज बायस्ड हैं. बायस्ड का मतलब क्या है, दो विचारों पहले से ही क्या रखते हैं, एक धारणा बना देते हैं, फेवर करते हैं किसका, मेल का, बॉयज़ का. तो जहाँ पे फैमिलीज बायस्ड हैं टुवर्ड्स देयर एटीट्यूड फॉर द गर्ल्स, कि गर्ल्स के लिए उनका जो एटीट्यूड है उनके लिए बायस है कि गर्ल कैन नॉट रीड सो मच, द बॉय शुड गेट द एजुकेशन टू रन अ फैमिली and what the girl will do, they will do all the household work, all the household chores. So that's why there is no need for the girls to be educated. वो चाहते हैं कि सिर्फ मेल को, बॉयज़ को ही एजुकेट करना चाहिए. सो इन दिस वे ये कहानी हमें बताती है उस कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सोशल स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में जहाँ पे इंडियन फैमिलीज बायस हो जाती हैं अपने डॉटर के लिए, एटीट्यूड के लिए. Actually, this story shows the manner in which Bholi is victimized by the patriarchal mindset of her family. जहाँ पे उसके परिवार का पैट्रिकल माइंडसेट है. पैट्रिकल मतलब जो बॉयज़ का फेवर करते हैं, पितृ प्रधान परिवार है उसका, वो हमेशा बॉयज़ को फेवर करने वाली फैमिली में रहते हैं, जहाँ भोली को शिकार बनना पड़ता है इनके लोगों की सोच का. एंड द पीपल अराउंड हर इवोक्स बोथ पिटी एंड एंगर. और जो लोग हैं वो कैसा व्यवहार करते हैं, ये सब बातें देख करके हम भोली के लिए पिटी फील करते हैं, हम भोली के लिए एंगर भी, हमें कई बार गुस्सा आता है लोगों पे, भोली के लिए नहीं, लोगों पे गुस्सा आता है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द वन फेज जो हमें दिखाती है अबाउट द विक्टिमाइजेशन ऑफ भोली, अबाउट द एटीट्यूड ऑफ इंडियन फैमिलीज, हाउ दे बिहेव टुवर्ड्स द डॉटर. On the other hand, it also shows the ill treatment meted out to differently abled children. दूसरी तरफ ये हमें एक और एस्पेक्ट की तरफ ले जाता है जहाँ पे जो डिसेबल्ड पर्सनस होते हैं उनके लिए कितना बुरा व्यवहार किया जाता है सोसाइटी में, वो भी दिखाया गया है. जैसे अगर कोई अंधा है, लंगड़ा है, ठीक है, उसको कोई भी बॉडी पार्ट्स फिजिकली वो फिट नहीं है, तो कैसे सोसाइटी उसके लिए रिएक्ट करती है, ये सब दिखाया गया है. एक्चुअली दिस स्टोरी कंपेल्स द रीडर टू थिंक अबाउट सच साइलेंट एविल्स दैट प्लेग आवर सोसाइटी. वास्तव में ये कहानी हमें ऐसी साइलेंट डेविल्स यानी कि ये बुराई जिनका हम जिक्र नहीं करते इनकी तरफ लेके जाती है जो हमारी सोसाइटी को प्लेग की तरह खाए जा रही हैं. हाउएवर द करेजियस डेफियंस बाय भोली एट द एंड अश्योर्स अ रे ऑफ होप. लेकिन फिर भी द पीपल ओवरकम बाय ऑल दिस डेफियंस. हाउ? By his courageous attitude, by his firm determination. Like Bholi has also conquered every opposite situation when she learned and when she takes a decision. So at once she gives a ray of hope to all the people like her who were equally disabled या who were illiterate. In her struggle, she wants to say that the people should not get discouraged but they should do whatever they have determined. So this story tells us about the two aspect. एक हमने आपको बता दिया है पहला aspect कौन सा था कि the Indian family के attitude का how to behave towards the girl. दूसरा हमारा था उस सोसाइटी के लिए जो कि डिसेबल्ड पर्सनस के लिए डिफरेंट बिहेवियर करते हैं लेकिन फिर भी वो पीपल जिनमें करेज होता है दे केम आउट इन फ्लाइंग कलर्स. So next we are going to learn about the summary. As we have read all chapters, so there is no difficulty in reading the summary. All the things we can grasp at once. We also read that Bholi is fairly and pretty born child. हमें पता है कि Bholi is not disfigured by her birth. Actually she is very fair, she is very pretty girl child and she is also the fourth number in her family. She fourth number daughter in family of नंबरदार रामलाल. नंबरदार रामलाल कौन है? द फादर ऑफ भोली. हमने इसके बारे में सिर्फ 2-3 कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल भोली, then the teacher and next one is Ramlal. So all the three characters, although some of the minor characters are also like Bishambar Nath, okay, like an old lady who tells something, like the wife role of Ramlal's wife means mother of Bholi also mentioned, but these are only the minor character. Then for the major character you also have to keep in mind that Bholi is the major character, the teacher is the major character, and somewhat Mr. Ramlal is also the major character. So unfortunately when Bholi falls off the court at the age of 10 months, it happens that some part of her brain gets damaged and she remained mentally backward, and that's why she is known as Bholi, whom is called also the fool, the simpleton. So by birth she is Sulekha, but later on when she met with some accident, then she was called as a Bholi, to whom we also call a very fool girl. To make matters worse, she gets an attack of smallpox at the age of 2. We also know that the problem doesn't end here, but the problem what increases when she was 2 years old. Then she met with an attack of pox marks and her whole body disfigured then except her eyes, because the whole body covered with deep black pock marks. मतलब गहरे काले रंग के धब्बों से पूरी बॉडी उसकी भर जाती है. Till the age of 5 she is unable to speak, and finally when she does she begins to stammer. यानी कि एक और problem. Now this is the third problem. First problem I told you about when she was 10 months old, that she fell off the court and her brain damaged. Second problem, when she was 2 years old she met with an pox attacks and her whole body disfigured. Now the third thing is that she cannot speak until the age of 5, and the fourth thing is that when finally she learned to speak she stammered very badly. In this way all the 4 or 5 problems met with the girl, and she completely remained an ignored child. Because she could not speak well, she stammers every time. That's why the children make fun of her. It is the reason that she doesn't want to speak so much. That's why she began to talk very little. उसने बहुत कम बातें करना शुरू कर दिया था. So ये तो था description how the girl Sulekha came to be known as Bholi. What was the problem with the girl? Why she didn't want to talk with the children? Now for the next phase we are going to learn about भोलीज फैमिली डिस्क्रिप्शन, यानी कि रामलाल के परिवार में कौन कौन था. ठीक है, ये हम जानेंगे इस पैराग्राफ में. सो भोली इज द यंगेस्ट चाइल्ड, यानी कि सब बच्चों में सबसे छोटी थी. अमंग द 7 चिल्ड्रन, 7 बच्चे थे रामलाल के, 3 सन एंड 4 daughters. Actually this is a very prosperous farmer family, and that's why we can say that all the children get everything to be healthy and strong. All the children except Bholi are very healthy and strong. So we can say that Bholi is not suffering from malnutrition. Actually the incidents happened to her, that's why she remained very disfigured and she remained very mentally backward girl. First of all, let's talk about the sons. The sons were first sent to the school, and then for the higher education they were sent to the cities. Now the sister of the Bholis, actually they were not given so much education, but they are married earlier. Kaun? Radha. Radha is already married. When the chapter begins, Radha is already married, and marriage of Mangla has been settled. Now they are just thinking about Champa, and they are not thinking about Bholi, because there were very little chances of Bholis being married. Actually, at that time, the society, the family of Ramlal, they didn't want to send girls to school. Why? Because they thought that it would be then very difficult to find a suitable match for the girls if they learned. It is the situation, it is the biased attitude of the society towards all the girl. Next, we came to know that the father is not worried about Champa, Mangla, Radha, because they all are very good looking, but he is worried about Bholi. Why? Because she is dull, she is ugly, and moreover she stammers very badly. For these reasons, the father always worried about Bholi. So does the life of Bholi remain same? No. There came Satan. There came Satan when she is 7 years old. When she was 7 years old, a primary school in their village opened, and Tehsildar of that area came to perform the opening ceremony. He pleaded Ramlal just to set an example in front of the villager to send his daughters to school. Why? Because he is the representative of government, that's why. So Ramlal at that time worried so much, so he discussed all the matter. Actually the present tense is given, but I'm talking you all the things, I'm telling you all the things in past tense, so whatever suits you, but try to keep in mind that you have just to keep the same tense from where you have started. When you have started with the present tense, keep it with the present tense, and when you have started with the past tense, then keep it throughout the question. So Ramlal discussed the matter with his wife. Then the wife objected everything. She opposed the ideas. Why? That she gave the reason that no one would marry of the girls if they were educated. But Ramlal had not the courage enough just to deny Tehsildar's order. He had not the courage to disobey Tehsildar. That's why there was a need to find a way between. At last they decided that Bholi should be sent to school. Why? Because there were little chances of her getting married, as she was a very ugly and intelligent girl child. So next day Ramlal caught the girl by hand, and he took her to school. The girl at that time frightened very much. Why? Because she at that time didn't know what a school was like, and moreover she also remembered that some days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been sold out. That's why she thought that it would be a punishment for her to get her out of the house. So now Bholi was very frightened. But then what happened? These are the reasons that she didn't want to go. मैंने आपको दो reason बताए हैं अभी कि वो school नहीं जाना चाहती थी. कौन सी? कि that she had been turned out of the school like their old cow Lakshmi. Moreover, she didn't know what the school was like. So the two reasons I told you. ठीक है. Now what are the reasons that Bholi was sure that she was going to a better place than her house? Now these are the reason. ये वो कारण हैं. ठीक है. फर्स्ट कारण कौन सा है? That for the first time Bholi is given very clean cloth. ठीक है. Very clean cloth to wear. Earlier no new clothes has been stitched for Bholi. ठीक है. कोई भी नया कपड़ा उसके लिए नहीं सिला गया था. No one cared to wash her clothes. No one cared to mend her clothes. But this time she is given a very clean cloths. She was bathed properly. Oil was also rubbed into her dry and matted hair. So finding these kind of attention, the girl believed that she was really being taken to a place better than her home. All these reasons. कौन सी reason? That first time she had been given a very clean dress. ठीक है. Earlier no one would take care whether she had worn the clean clothes or not. Nobody cared to wash them, nobody cared to mend them. ठीक है. सेकेंड थिंग दैट फर्स्ट टाइम शी वो बेड प्रॉपरली, फर्स्ट टाइम oil was rubbed into her matted hair. In finding these types of attention, ठीक है, 2 or 3 reason I told you, finding all these things the girl felt that she was going to be a better place than her home. So next day Ramlal hands over the Bholi. Now the day came when she has to go to school. So Ramlal handed over the fear stricken girl. Fear stricken matlab very frightened girl Bholi to headmistress, and then headmistress took her to the classroom, asked her to sit in a corner. Bholi was very glad to sit there. Why? Because there were so many girls of her age. Although she didn't understand what the teacher was saying at that time, but she was very much happy, fascinated matlab attracted, ATTRACTED, but she was very much attracted by the bright color in the room. Actually she compared the paintings in the room with whatever she had seen in her life. Like she compared the horse with the one on which Tehsildar came in their village. ठीक है. Now she compared the goat with her neighbor's goat. She compared the parrot as green as in the mango orchard. She compared the cow with her cow Lakshmi. And while she was busy in doing admiration, while she was busy in doing all these things, then at once she found that the teacher was standing beside her and she was smiling at her. Bholi was startled to see her, but she was very impressed by listening the loving and soothing voice of teacher. The teacher in a very loving voice asked Bholi her name, but भोली एट वंस फंबल्स का मतलब क्या होता है, वेरी पजल्ड, ठीक है, घबरा जाती है भोली इस टाइम पे. शी मैनेज टू स्टैमर, वो अपनी स्टैमर को मैनेज करने की कोशिश करती है. एंड टेल ओनली द हाफ नेम. Now she starts crying. She couldn't tell her full name. She started crying between telling her name. Why? Because all the girls in the room were laughing at her. Now the bell rang. All the girls hurried out of the room, but Bholi had not the dare to just come out of the room, just to get up from her seat. She remained glued to her seat in one of the corner. The teacher in a very loving and soothing voice again asked her about her name. The soothing and calm voice of teacher encouraged girl most, and she once more was able to tell her complete name. The teacher encouraged her by saying that you have to throw out all the fear from your heart. The teacher also encouraged Bholi by telling so many encourages things to her. First of all, she told her that in the passage of the time she would be able to read big books. And second thing, then everyone would give respect to her. And third thing, that one day she would be the most learned girl in the village. And the fourth thing, that people would no more laugh at her. ठीक है. And fifth thing, that everyone will give respect to Bholi. On listening all these encourageous lines, Bholi's heart was filled with a new ray of hope and life. Her heart was started to fill with a new ray of high hope and life. Now all these words prove to be very prophetic in a long run. Prophetic मतलब भविष्यवाणी. ये सब शब्द भोली की जिंदगी में एक भविष्यवाणी बन के सिद्ध होते हैं. Now the time passes and village transformed into a small village. So with the passage of time there also came so many changes in the village also. कौन से changes आते हैं भाई? Changes आते हैं कि village transformed into small village. ठीक है. Now that primary school has been transformed into high school. Now the third thing is that tin shed cinema hall was also opened and a cotton ginning mill was also opened. Next thing is that also it has not been given here, but you have to keep in mind what first thing. ठीक है. Second thing, now the third thing cinema hall, fourth thing about ginning mill, and fifth thing about the mail train started to stop at the railway station in their village. ठीक है. So in this way the time passed and nobody noticed any change in Bholi, but only the teacher and Bholi knew what is happening there, how she is transforming. So in this way, one night after the dinner, as Bholi has quite grown, so the parents talked about her marriage. Bholi also overhears all their conversation when she was also lying at one of the corner in her courtyard. She listened the conversation of their parents about her marriage proposal with Bishambar Nath. Why did the parents accept Bishambar Nath marriage proposal? क्यों उस proposal को स्वीकार कर लिया बिशंबर नाथ के proposal को? क्यों? Because he is a first thing. It's the question that why did they accept the proposal? First thing is that he is a well-to-do grocer. Second thing is that he is a very rich man. Third thing is that he had a very good bank balance. ठीक है? Next thing is that he had his own house. Next thing is that he had a big shop, and moreover he was not asking about any dowry. So all these 5 points you have to keep in mind. First is well-to-do grocer, second is very rich, third is good bank balance, it means having a very good bank balance. Fourth thing is that he had his own house and he has his own house and own shop. And the fifth thing is that he is not demanding for any dowry. So all the 4 points you have to keep in mind, because these are the positive qualities because of which Bishambar Nath was accepted as a bridegroom. But there were also the negative points because of which the parents had to think about that. So the negative points are that he is a limbed, he is 50, moreover he is an old man of 50-year-old, and second, he is a limbed man. Third, he is a widower, and fourth, that he had the children, quite grown up children from his first wife. So all these negative points you also have to keep in mind. Next is that although an absolutely unsuitable proposal, Bholi's parents give their consent. हालांकि ये पूरी तरह से unsuitable proposal था, but Bholi, being a very obedient child, accepted everything for the sake of the respect or honor of their family. For they believed that no one else would marry, and the parents accepted their proposal because of those positive points, as well as because they thought that no one would marry Bholi if they rejected Bishambar's marriage proposal. Moreover, when Ramlal worried about Bholi's attitude, about Bholi's thinking, then the wife at once spun his doubts. उसके डाउट को एकदम से दूर कर देती है. स्पंस का मतलब क्या होता है? एकदम से भड़क जाती है उसके डाउट पे. क्या कहती है? That she is a very dumb wit, कि वो मूर्ख लड़की है, ठीक है, वो एक डम काउ, वो गूंगी गाय है, and she has no opinion of her, and she has no mind, she has no emotion, so she has no opinion of her own. So in this way, in our next video we will see whether the marriage would be accomplished or not. Till then, thank you very much.